white SUV behind me, it's not the SUV you're used to seeing behind me. It's going to be my family vehicle. It should probably fit my whole family. And the problem we were running into with the G-Wagon was because it was only 2 rows and I have 3 daughters who are starting to get my height. There wasn't a ton of room in the back. So as much as we absolutely, as a family, loved the G-Wagon, we were quickly outgrowing it. It became a problem as far as getting in and out, and if they needed their feet in the center, like, it was just a real problem. So that's one problem. The second problem is, like 2 videos ago, I talked about my 3 steps to getting $1 million Senna. So one of the steps was for me to be able to pay taxes and down payment with equity from other assets I had. One of those assets was the G-Wagon. The market was decent right now on it to where I got what I paid for it back. I got this and then a check. It wasn't just like, cool, I'll go get the Durango Hellcat. It's a little bit of a process trying to find an SUV with 3 rows. The main reason is every 3-row SUV I've ever owned, I absolutely hated. They were just, you were like in a boat when you'd hit a bump. And so I really don't like that at all. And it required me to do a lot of research to find a 3-row SUV that would still have the stiffer style suspension like the G-Wagon. I test drove a couple and I looked at some and I just wasn't a fan of them. Boiled down to the Durango Hellcat and the Cadillac Escalade V. That thing was just so big. I don't know if I need that large of an SUV. I understand that the room in the back could probably be beneficial. I just didn't see it being the one for me. And the price was the same as a G-Wagon, which to me is absurd. These are really reasonably priced. They're the fun part of a Hellcat, and you got the limited number, so they should hold value okay. I understand they're a Dodge, but they have the Hellcat motor, which is going away, and they didn't make a ton of them. They made like 3,000 of them in this year, 2021. Kind of a rare car still, and so far they're holding their values decent. I hope it keeps happening so I could keep the value in this. But ultimately, the girls weren't stoked at the beginning of it, but we've taken a couple of drives in it and they're starting to appreciate having their own area again. Before I looked at it, I was very concerned it was going to feel cheap after switching from a Mercedes. Now, I can't say it's the same quality, but I was pleasantly surprised with the feel inside. And I know I've seen a couple of reviews where they say it was like old feeling, but I don't need screens going all across the car and stuff. At one point I thought that was super cool, but now they're starting to bother me because everything feels disconnected and like you're not actually doing something in the car. So I'm actually a fan of a little bit older school feel to it. Driving's super nice, still learning all the options it has. It has Apple CarPlay, that's wireless, which is a huge thing for me because I pretty much hate every navigation, factory navigation in a car. I need it to have Apple CarPlay so that I could just use the one I like on my phone that's updated. Some people have told me it's a downgrade. I'm excited for it right now. We're gonna share the experience with you. It's a fun car, it's roomy, it's comfortable. I can sit where I want, and we're still high enough up that I feel like we can see the road. Here's my 21 Durango SRT I don't know what they call it. It's the Hellcat Durango. Let's take a look. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think of the car. Currently still have the 720. I have the Aston. The Tesla is going to be shipped out to my office in California, so that will be gone soon. So we're starting to slowly get rid of cars, but trying to hold the assets. As far as the check I got with the Durango, that will be invested into one of the other steps that I talked about needing to accomplish to be able to get the Senna, which is the passive income. So I'm gonna put the remainder of the money from that into a house and start generating some passive income with it. So the money was not wasted. Eventually, I have the steps worked out. Eventually, this is all going to lead to a Senna being right here. And that's gonna be amazing. I've also updated the goal. It's no longer just a Senna I want. It's going to be a Senna and one of every LT car along the way. I can't fight it anymore. I'm a sucker for McLaren, so I want to own one of the best of every one I possibly can.